I'm Amy, 31 years old. I'm standing in the main lobby of the Aura Spire, my $2 billion architectural masterpiece. Tonight is the official launch gala. I'm just watching, standing off to the side, completely anonymous. Then, through the glass doors, I see them. My father, David. My mother, Susan. My brother, Ryan. And my sister, Lauren. They look so lost. So stuffy in their clothes that were fashionable maybe a decade ago. I watch my father stop in front of the sustainable bamboo living wall, a design I lost sleep over for months. I see him physically sneer at it. He turns and snaps at a waiter. From 30 feet away. I can see the contempt on his face. He has no idea that the woman whose name he's here to leverage is me. Have you ever felt like the invisible one in your own family? Have you ever built something great? Only for the people who should be proudest to not even recognize your work. Let me know your story down in the comments. Growing up, our house was a stage. From the outside, we were the perfect suburban family. But inside, my parents, David and Susan, were suffocating under their obsession with status. They spent every dime trying to look like the wealthy elite they so desperately admired. My father, David, was a traditional real estate developer. Or at least, that's what he called himself. He was always talking about his next big project. Usually, some soulless strip mall. But they all failed. Spectacularly. He was a man bitter that the world hadn't recognized his supposed genius. My brother, Ryan, was the golden boy. His grades were average. His ambition non-existent. But he was the son. That was enough. My sister, Lauren, was the show pony. She was raised with one goal, marry rich. Her entire life was a playbook, written by my mother. And then there was me, the black sheep, the weird one. While other kids played with dolls, I built cities out of cardboard boxes. I'd spend hours designing, rearranging, figuring out how light could enter a space. My parents found it embarrassing. As I got older, my passion focused. I wasn't just interested in buildings, I was interested in sustainable architecture. Green roofs, reclaimed materials, designs that worked with the environment, not against it. My father hated it. Hippie architecture. He'd scoff at the dinner table. Useless. Nobody pays for that nonsense. You want to build something real. Amy, you build a commercial high-rise. Concrete and steel. That's the real world. I didn't know the term for it then. But my father was a walking talking case of the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias, where people with low ability at a task overestimate their own ability. It was his total incompetence that gave him his loud, unshakable confidence. He would lecture us all about market trends and structural integrity, while, just down the street, his last half-finished project was being foreclosed on. He was blind to his own failures. Meanwhile, I was the one actually acing physics. The one reading blueprints for fun. And I was already feeling the first sting of what I'd later learn was imposter syndrome. I constantly felt like I wasn't good enough. That my ideas were childish. The irony is so thick it could choke you. The man who knew nothing was certain he knew everything. The girl who was trying to learn everything felt like she knew nothing. That was the background noise of my childhood. His booming, confident voice dismissing my dreams. And my mother's anxious silence. Terrified that my hippie interests would ruin her social standing. They didn't want a daughter. They wanted a prop. And I was failing at the one job they gave me. The real explosion happened when the acceptance letters arrived. My parents had expected me to apply to some local liberal arts college. Their only advice was to find a program where I might meet a suitable husband. Instead, I had applied, in secret, to the top architecture programs in the country, and I got into Cornell. The fight that night was biblical. My father threw the acceptance letter across the room. Architecture. Are you insane? It's a pointless degree for a woman. You'll chew yourself up and spit yourself out. My mother was, as always, more concerned with the social fallout. What will I tell the ladies at the club? She whispered. Horrified. That my daughter wants to play with bricks. That she's going to be some glorified construction worker. I'm going, I said. My voice, quiet but shaking. Fine. My father yelled. But we are not paying one single penny. You want to waste your life on this? This hippie nonsense. You do it on your own. And they meant it. They paid Ryan's full tuition for his finance degree. They paid for Lauren's communications degree. For me, nothing. So, I went. I took out loans. I worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. I was a waitress. A library assistant. I cleaned dorms. I lived on instant noodles and gas station coffee. I barely slept. I called home every Sunday for the first semester. My mother would answer. Give me a brief, cold update. And then pass the phone. Ryan rarely took it. Lauren would talk for a few minutes about her sorority parties. My father would get on last. His only question was always the same. Have you come to your senses yet? When I told him I was at the top of my class, he'd just grunt and hang up. By sophomore year, the calls dwindled to major holidays. By junior year, they stopped returning my calls altogether. Then came graduation day. I had graduated summa cum laude. I had job offers from 3 major firms. The commencement speaker was talking about the importance of family, of having a support system. I just sat there, alone in a sea of families. I watched other graduates taking pictures with their parents, getting flowers, getting hugs. I remember feeling this hollow, aching void in my chest, this profound sense of invisibility. I had achieved everything they said I couldn't. And the people who were supposed to be the proudest, they weren't even there. I stood alone in my cap and gown, fighting back tears. And that was the moment. It was the most painful, and most important, day of my life. I decided, standing there on that lawn, that if my family couldn't see my worth, I would build something so magnificent, so undeniable, that the entire world would have to. I didn't take the high-paying corporate jobs. I took the lowest-paying offer from a small, struggling, boutique firm in the city. It was run by Barbara. Barbara was in her 60s. With a sharp silver bob and an even sharper tongue. She took one look at my portfolio and my Ivy League degree and said, "This is all very pretty, but theory is worthless. Show me what you can actually do." She was brutal. She was relentless. She tore apart my designs and forced me to defend them. She made me work harder than I ever thought possible. And she became the mentor I had desperately needed my entire life. She was the family I had chosen. Fast forward 7 years. I'm sitting in a glass-walled conference room. 2 weeks before the Aura Aspire Gala. My team is finalizing the press list, the security details, the catering. My assistant, a sharp young woman named Maya, clears her throat. Me. There's one minor issue I wanted to flag. We have a David. She checks her notes. A David, last name, who has been relentlessly emailing and calling, demanding tickets to the gala. My pen stops moving. He claims, she continues, to be a personal mentor to the founder of Aura Designs. My heart doesn't just stop. It freezes. He's been name-dropping you well. Your anonymous persona saying he guided your early career and expects VIP treatment. He's a lot. I keep my face perfectly neutral. Send me the email chain. Maya. I'll handle it. The moment she leaves, I open the file, and there it is. The arrogance, the entitlement, all under a fake email address for David, last name consulting. A company that doesn't exist. My hands are shaking. Not with fear. With something else. Clarity. I spend the next hour, not on gala logistics, but on a discreet, deep dive financial background check. It's all there. The house is in foreclosure. My brother, Ryan, is drowning in over $200,000 of gambling debt. My sister, Lauren, is back home after a messy divorce from her wealthy husband, who apparently cut her off. They're not just struggling. They are destitute. They're not just name-dropping. They are grasping at straws, trying to use a name they don't even know is mine, to get into a party, to network, to find their next lifeline. I could have clicked delete. I could have had security block his email. Instead, I walk over to Maya's desk. About that David last name. Approve him. Maya looks stunned. Really? He seems... Approve 4 standard admission tickets. Send them to his home address. No VIP. No plus ones. Let them in. The night before the gala, I'm standing in my penthouse office, looking out at the Aura Spire. It's piercing the night sky. A monument to everything they said I couldn't do. The doubt creeps in. I'm 31 years old. A billionaire. And I still feel like that 19-year-old girl. Desperate and shaking. I pick up the phone and call Barbara. I'm doing something crazy. Barbara. I whisper. I let them in. My family. They're coming to the gala tomorrow. Barbara is silent on the other end. Then she says, her voice like gravel. Good. Let them come. But what am I doing, I feel? I feel like I'm 19 again. I'm terrified. Amy, she says. And her voice is so firm, it stills me. Forget them. Forget what they think. Do you see that skyscraper out your window? The one that's already won 3 design awards before it even opened? Yes. You built that. You. Not them. They don't get to define you. They lost that right when they let you walk out the door. You are the founder of Aura Designs. You're my best damn student. I am proud of you. Let them come see what you built. The panic in my chest recedes. The shaking stops. She's right. I end the call. Take a deep breath. And look back at my building. It's not just a building. It's my shield. It's my proof. Let them come. We're back to the present. The gala lobby. I'm watching them from a distance. Standing near one of my own installations. They're not mingling. They've made a beeline for the VIP check-in. A table they absolutely do not have access to. I can hear my father's voice. Even from here. It's that familiar, booming tone he uses when he's about to lose his temper. I move closer. Stepping behind a marble pillar. Close enough to hear every word. A young woman, one of my best event staffers, is trying to handle them. Sir, I have your 4 standard admission tickets, she says. Her voice polite, but firm. The VIP lounge is reserved for our honorees and major investors. There must be a mistake. My mother, Susan, cuts in, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. We are personal friends of the founder. My father scoffs, puffing out his chest in that ill-fitting suit. Friends, we're practically family. I've been advising her on this project for years. The staffer blinks, confused. Sir, the founder is notoriously private. I'm not aware of any. Look, my father says, leaning in. Let's be honest. She and I are old colleagues. I taught her pretty much everything she knows. She's got talent. Sure. But some of these designs... He gestures vaguely at the lobby. A bit flashy. All substance. No, real foundation. But she's learning. Now. Just check the list again for David, last name. That was it. That was the moment. The sheer, breathtaking audacity. The lie. All substance. No, real foundation. He was describing himself. I step out from behind the pillar and walk slowly toward them. Is there a problem here? Casey, I ask the staffer. My voice calm. My father turns, irritated at the interruption. This doesn't concern you. Miss, we're just handling a private matter with management. I smile. Actually, as the host of this gala, every matter concerns me. Perhaps I can help. Unless you can get us into the VIP lounge. I doubt it, he says dismissively, not even really looking at me. Is that so, I ask? I look past him. At my mother. My mother is staring at me. Her face is pale. The recognition is dawning. Slow and horrified. She's seen the subtle changes. The hair. The clothes. The confidence. But the eyes. The eyes are the same. Wait. My mother whispers, her hand flying to her throat. David. Wait. Amy. My father freezes. He turns back, his eyes narrowing. He really looks at me for the first time. Not as an inconvenient staffer, But as me, he can't speak. The color drains from his face. My brother Ryan looks like he's seen a ghost. I look directly into my father's eyes. Look closer. Dad, I say, my voice perfectly level. 7 years is a long time. But surely, you recognize your own daughter? I gesture to the soaring, 50-foot ceiling above us. To the building that bears my soul. Welcome to my building. An hour later, I was on stage. The air in that grand hall was electric. 500 of the world's top architects, investors, and critics. My team had, per my instructions, quietly escorted my family to a table. Table 54. The one in the absolute last row. Tucked away near a service exit. The lights dimmed. My COO introduced me. Not as Amy, last name, but as the anonymous founder and creative director of Aura Designs. The spotlight hit me. I could see them. Even in the darkness. 4 silhouettes huddled in the back. I could feel their eyes. I saw the shock. The burning shame. The pure, undiluted resentment on my father's face. My mother just looked broken. Good evening. I started, my voice echoing, calm and clear. Tonight, we are celebrating a building. But I don't want to talk about concrete and steel. I want to talk about integrity. I looked out at the crowd. Then let my eyes drift to that back table. There's a philosophy in development that values ego above all else. It builds monuments to debt. It creates hollow, empty spaces. I thought of my father's failed strip malls that promise community but deliver only bankruptcy. These are buildings built on a rotten foundation. Buildings that make people feel small, invisible, and unwelcome. We believe in something different. We believe in the architecture of integrity. I spoke for 20 minutes. I talked about how the Aura Spire was designed to be the greenest skyscraper in the world. How its ventilation system breathed with the city. How every material was reclaimed. Every line, intentional. I never mentioned their names. I didn't have to. I approached my conclusion. And my eyes found my father's in the darkness. For years, I said, my voice dropping slightly, I was told that my ideas were hippie nonsense. That they were flashy. With no real foundation. I was told that true success was about impressing the right people. But Aura Designs was built on a simple, radical belief. True architecture, true success, is not about making people admire you. It's about making people feel seen. The words hung in the air. This building isn't a monument to me. It's a testament to every person who was ever told their dream was worthless. It is proof that you can build a future out of the very things people dismissed. I paused. Thank you. The silence lasted for 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then, the entire room erupted. It wasn't just applause. It was a thunderous, standing ovation. People were on their feet. Investors. Critics. My peers. Barbara was in the front row. Tears streaming down her face. Beaming. I stood there, under the warm lights. And I looked at table 54. They weren't clapping. They couldn't. They were trapped. Forced to sit and watch as 500 industry leaders celebrated the woman. And the very ideas they had thrown out like trash. That was their public self-destruction. I didn't lay a hand on them. I just succeeded. After the applause faded, I didn't go back to my table. I found Maya backstage. Maya, I said, my voice perfectly even. Please send an invoice for 4 gala tickets at their full market value. $5,000 each, to David, last name's home address. Payment due in 30 days. Yes, Amy, she said, without blinking. I spent the next 2 hours networking, accepting congratulations, and finalizing a deal with an investor from Dubai. By midnight, I was in my penthouse office, the one on the top floor of the Spire, sketching out an idea for a new museum. A crash from the outer office made me jump. The door flew open, and my father stumbled in. He was drunk. His tie was undone, and his face was a mask of rage and champagne. Amy, he slurred, pointing a finger at me. Great show. Really. Great show. You need to leave. Dad, you're trespassing. Trespassing, he laughed. A short, ugly bark. I'm here to talk business. I've got a joint venture proposal. David, last name Consulting and Aura Designs. We could. I held up my hand. And for the first time in my life, he actually stopped talking. Stop, I said. The word was cold. Just stop. There is no David last name Consulting. There is no joint venture. There is only a man who is trespassing in my office. Drunk. His face contorted. After all, We are done with the lies, I said, standing up. We are done with the performance. You will be here. In the restaurant, on the ground floor. At 7 a.m. tomorrow. You, Mom, Ryan, and Lauren. If you are 1 minute late, I will have you all permanently barred from this property. Do you understand me? He just stared, the alcoholic bravado draining away, leaving only the pathetic, defeated man underneath. Do you understand me? He gave a jerky nod. Now, get out. At 7 a.m. sharp? I was sitting in a private dining room. They were already there. All 4 of them. They looked tired, broken, and sober. My mother was the first to speak. Amy, she whispered, her eyes red. We've lost everything. The house. We're desperate, Ryan mumbled, staring at the table. I let the silence sit there for a moment. Then, I took a deep breath. Let's be very clear about what this is, I said. This is not a negotiation. And this is not punishment. This is a reckoning. My mother started to cry. We need help. I know, I said. But the help you're used to is what got us here. So here are my terms. This is what I am willing to do. They leaned in. First, I am not giving you a job. I am not investing in any non-existent company. I will not be your personal bank. My father's face tightened. But he said nothing. Here is what I will do. I will pay off the mortgage on the house. So you don't lose it. I will pay off Ryan's $200,000 in gambling debts. On one condition, he checks into an inpatient treatment program today, and I will pay for all 4 of you to enter intensive, twice a week, family therapy, together, and separately. My mother looked up, stunned. You? You'd do that? Yes, I said. But you need to understand why. This isn't me rescuing you. This is me offering you a foundation to rescue yourselves. The help I'm offering comes with boundaries. Because support without boundaries isn't love, it's enablement. And it was enablement that allowed this family to rot from the inside out for 30 years. This is your one and only chance to build something real. You either take it, or you walk away. The choice is yours. 6 months later, they were all still in therapy. My father had taken a job, volunteering, teaching basic finance at a youth center. Ryan was 90 days clean and working as a barista. Lauren had enrolled in a community college program for paralegals. I was sitting in my office, looking out at the city, sketching a new design. For the first time in my entire life, I felt quiet. I felt peace. Building a $2 billion skyscraper was the hardest thing I'd ever done. But I was wrong. Building a family, a real one, from the wreckage of the old was infinitely harder. It required a completely different kind of blueprint. So, what do you think? Is it really possible to rebuild a family on a new foundation of honesty and boundaries? Or are some things just too broken to fix? Let me know your final thoughts in the comments.